Hello Mouses! Today we're going to talk about the strange case of Julian Assange. Now, as most people on the internet will know, Julian Assange is the person who created WikiLeaks. He's also a notorious hacker from when he was a child, and he's written books on hacking with other people as well. One of them, in fact, being a bestseller. So, as we can tell, he's no stranger to trouble. And at the moment, he's in quite a lot of it. He's holed up in the Ecuadorian embassy in London, trying to get out of the country because Britain has decided that he absolutely must be extradited to Sweden to face charges of rape and sexual molestation, which come about because, and here's the problem, based on who you're listening to, either because the Americans want him and Sweden will extradite to America after they've done a farce of an investigation, or because he genuinely has some allegations to answer. Now, the problem with both of these is no one can actually prove that Sweden is going to just hand him over to the United States for him to be held in a secret location and subjected to a secret court proceeding, because he's embarrassed the country so badly. And to be honest with you, he has embarrassed the country so badly. But then again, the things that he's released should have been open to the public. Although, to be honest with you, the things that he's released shouldn't have been things to release in the first place. They basically shouldn't have happened. But they did. So now the Americans are embarrassed and he's in a lot of trouble. But the other thing is, with regard to this allegation of rape and sexual misconduct, the Swedish authorities actually dropped that investigation the day after claims were made. Allegations came out that he'd done something that would probably be fine in most Western countries, but Sweden has very specific and rather complex laws regarding rape, where because he persuaded someone not to use a condom and they went with it but didn't say yes to it, that means that there is technically a case to answer. But the case was dropped after a day, which raises a lot of questions because it was only reopened the next month after all of the problem emails and things that WikiLeaks released about the Americans came out, which is where this claim that Sweden is going to extradite to America comes from. And it's a very complex situation. To be honest with you, I'm fine with him having to answer to Sweden's authorities. If there is a genuine case to answer, and we can't say there isn't because there isn't enough evidence here, then he has to answer them. But what they're wanting him for is questioning. They're not going to run a trial here. They want to question him, but they could have done that by coming to where he was under house arrest and questioning him there. They didn't do that. They could have done a telephone conference. They could have questioned him via video conference. They didn't do that. They could go to the Ecuadorian embassy where he's currently been given asylum and question him there. But they haven't done that. They want him in Sweden, which means one of two things. Either the extradition is just so they can ship him off to America to get good diplomatic relations with the Americans, or there's more to this case than what anyone's actually mentioning, and what they're wanting to do is get him to the country so they can do tests or just run a trial straight off, or something else that we just haven't worked out yet. It's one of those two things, and that's the problem. We don't have an awful lot of information. We don't have information on the case. We don't have information on why they actually want him, rather than just doing a conference interview over long distances or travelling to see him, and we don't know what will happen to him if he is actually extradited. So he's currently held up in the Ecuadorian embassy, which is where Britain comes in, because Britain has declared that it will not allow him safe passage out of the United Kingdom. Now, that's fair enough. Britain has a lot to lose here. It can't be seen to be soft, because the first thing that will happen is every other person who's wanted in another country will hole up in an embassy somewhere, or go into hiding, or demand political asylum in Britain and things like that. And then we have a problem that we've already set a precedent. We can't say yes to him and no to them, can we? Well, we can, but it causes a lot of diplomatic problems. So, Britain has a lot to lose here. It can't just let him out of the country. But at the same time, it can't just hand him over to Sweden, because that is detrimental to our standing in the world. So, there have been claims that we're going to storm the Ecuadorian embassy. Now, to be honest with you, that's probably not going to happen because A, it's against just about every single international law out there, and B, it's a declaration of war. So, we're already fighting a war on several fronts. We don't want another one, especially not with a country that basically sits there and does nothing on the international scale and gets on with its own life. It looks a bit like bullying. So, we've got a bit of a problem. So what is going to happen? Ecuador is probably going to get this guy out of the country. And what will probably happen is Britain will do some face-saving exercises where they try to intercept him on the way to the airport and then fail, and Ecuador will fly them out of the country safely. It'll be a backroom deal. We won't have to see any kind of storming of an embassy or anything like a shootout in the middle of the street or anything like that. It'll all go down pretty smoothly, or someone will come in with a helicopter and they'll be moved out through a window or something like that. It'll be very dramatic, and then Ecuador will look like the really cool people on the block, and we'll just look like fools. But again, we don't want to look like fools, so there will be some kind of backroom diplomatic deal here. He'll be shipped out in a diplomatic bag or something like that, and then everything will be fine and dandy. We'll shout at them. They'll say, well, we told you we were going to get him out. The Americans will do nothing because they can't at this moment, otherwise they show their hand and show exactly what they want them to do with him, which will prevent anyone from actually agreeing to an extradition in the future. And then Sweden will sit there and go, well, what's going on? Come on, guys. You just lost our guy. What you doing? And then they will get all angry and we'll say, and Ecuador will say, no, you're not getting him. And then everyone will be happy, apart from Sweden and America. But then again, you can't please everyone. So, okay, that's all I've got for you today. That's my theory on what's going to happen. It's a big face-saving scheme between Britain, Ecuador and Sweden at this point, and we'll see how it plays out. Thanks for watching the video. If you did like it, remember to click the like button, share it with your friends so that they can see what's going on, and subscribe for future videos. Until next time, I've been Zoe Kirk-Robinson, you've been watching a video, and I'll see you on Monday.